Hi there, Jeff here from the Wetsuit Centre, talking to you today about the Billabong range of wetsuits, which covers men's, ladies and kids, which is the Intruder and Launch series of wetsuits. Okay, we thought we'd kill several birds with one stone by talking about all the wetsuits, because essentially they are the same, just branded differently for kids or for men or women. There is a principal difference between the range, but we'll talk about that as we go through the suits themselves. You can see they're all sort of lined up here basically. You've got the Intruder, which is branded for men and for kids, boys or girls, and then you've got the Launch, which is made specifically for the ladies. Okay, and within those brands you've essentially got two different suits. You've got the flat lock suits and you've got the GBS suits. Okay, and what that actually means is the type of seams that you get on the wetsuit. Flat lock, if I grab the flat lock wetsuit here as well, or sometimes indicated by FL on our descriptions, is basically the style of seams. So if I get you to come in a bit closer here, basically that means it's two pieces of neoprene butted up together and then stitched together, just using a strategic sort of a standard sort of stitching there, and that comes through on the other side. What that means is it's a nice flat seam, unlike the bunching seams, but what it does mean is that it's not completely waterproof. Water's going to come through that seam and come in contact with your skin. Still a warm wetsuit for the summer months, but obviously you're not going to have a completely sealed suit, which is going to keep water out of the wetsuit essentially. And that's where GBS comes in, which is the glued and blind stitched seams. Okay, so if I grab a suit and indicate what that is. GBS, glued and blind stitched, means that the seams are basically stitched halfway through, and on the other side they are glued, so that completely seals off the seams. So no water is going to come through any punch holes there, which means that the suit keeps out the water and keeps you warmer for longer. Also, it's a little bit more of a complicated technology to make, which makes the suits a little bit more expensive. But having said that, the Intruder and Launch range are still really well priced. They're all about value for money basically, so you don't have to pay too much for a wetsuit and still have the glued and blind stitch seams if you want to. The reason it's a little bit cheaper, basically, the things that you don't get in the upper end of the wetsuit range, is the quality of the neoprene. Okay, basically there's more that you spend, the more high quality neoprene you get throughout the suit. Okay, and by high quality I mean very soft, very flexible, which hugs to your skin better, keeps you warmer and gives you more flexibility and movement within the wetsuit. You still get that within the suit, which is fantastic for under £100, but you only get it strategically placed. So if you come a little bit closer, you can see the quality of neoprene there. It's the very flexible stuff on the shoulder, and under the armpit here, I don't know if you can catch it on the camera, but it's a little bit coarser, rougher and less flexible on the middle part and on the arm here. Okay, what that means is you still get flexibility where you need it, so you get it in the shoulders and under the arm, so it's still going to give you a good degree of flex through the suit, unlike some of the very cheap wetsuits that you get in petrol stations and supermarkets, which are very coarse, very abrasive on the skin and don't give you any flexibility. Okay, so you still get that, and you get it like around the crotch area as well, so it's a nice degree of flex. Some other features you get the knee pads, which are sort of Duraflex material or a crypto material, whatever you want to call it, ergonomically shaped to fit the knee, and basically very robust, so when you're learning to surf, kite surf, windsurf, whatever, you're not going to wear the knee through and have to buy another wetsuit. The suit itself, they're all 3/2s. When we say 3/2, we mean the thickness of the wetsuit. 3mm of neoprene thick on the lower body where you need more warmth, and 2mm on the upper body where you need more flexibility. You still get warmth from that 2mm as well, which is ideal for the summer months. Okay, the GBS suits, the glued and blind stitch suits, you're going to be warmer in, so you're probably going to be able to wear them from April through to kind of like September, October, November, depending on your tolerance for the cold. Whereas the flat lock suits are going to be better for the core summer months, kind of June, July, August, and maybe September. Again, depending on your tolerance for the cold. A good feature you get for a suit of this price as well, you get the roll neck collar. A lot of people might have experienced rashes when they wear wetsuits, which are abrasive around the neck and the armpits. To try and get rid of that problem, they basically have a roll neck collar which has got very smooth, smooth to the touch material around the neck, which is going to stop you getting any sort of rashes or anything like that. Okay, you get an adjustable neck collar on all of the suits, which just basically means you can tighten and loosen the suit around your neck to create a seal and make sure it's comfortable. And then you've got the toggle on the zip, which basically means you can do the suit up yourself without having to get the assistance of someone in the car park. You get a piece of flap of neoprene underneath the zip to stop the water coming straight into contact with your back, and you get a neoprene coming up over the top of the zip, which just seals it up and stops any water coming through. The suits themselves have all got smooth skin on the front and back, especially treated neoprene to stop wind penetrating the suit and making you cold in those blustery days. And you also get basically strategically placed seams as well. So the seams aren't straight, they're bent and curved and placed very strategically so that you get a nice flexible suit with loads of movement within the seams. Okay, so you can see there's a huge amount of flex in that suit. It's going to be very comfortable. So if you had a bad experience with cheaper wetsuits in the past, but you don't want to still spend too much money, then this range is great. And it ranges from, as I say, flat lock suits, which are still really effective for the summer months. So if you're not like someone who maybe lives by the sea, if you're just going on holiday, or if you're going nipping down to Cornwall, Devon, overseas, and you use the suit now and again, you're not going to need to spend too much money, and you're going to get away quite happily with a suit of this sort of quality. If you want a suit that's going to be a little bit warmer, maybe use it a few more times throughout the year, and maybe you hit the beach a little bit more, then you've got the GBS suit, which is within all of the range as well. And so that's essentially everything within the range, all of the features going on. Really amazingly priced suit this year. We're selling a lot of them, and that's for good reason. A lot of quality for not too much cost. And that's the launch, the kids Intruder, the men's Intruder flatlock, and then the GBS suits. And that ranges right from a 3-2, which is the thickness of the neoprene, right to a 5-4-3, which is a winter suit. So you can use that right through winter or in summer if you feel the cold quite a lot as well. So that's the range from Billabong, and as I said, very fantastically priced wetsuit for the money, under £100. So the Intruder and Launch series.